I wonder how it feels to have sex with a ghost. Like, do you feel anything? I mean, obviously you have to feel something because if they can touch you, I wonder if it feels like the real thing. Hey, what's up, hardheads? Welcome back to my channel. And I just want to give a quick shout out to my girl Shanice. Thank you for covering and recapping American Horror Story last week. I was away doing some stuff, so I'm happy that you were able to handle this on your own. And I just want to say thank you for recapping last week. And I think she will be on next week for the 100th episode of American Horror Story. So we should be reviewing that together. So thanks again, Shanice. Alright guys, so this is the 5th episode of American Horror Story 1984, titled Red Dawn. There's so many reveals going on in this episode. People just revealing their true selves, their real motives, kind of like a couple of episodes before, but this time it's down to the nitty gritty. There's a lot of things that was answered, but also some new questions that we do have. So let's get into this episode. So we start off with Donna, aka Nurse Rita's backstory. It goes back 4 years later in 1980, and she's sitting in her car watching a guy go into a hotel, an apartment or whatever, with another woman. So as I'm watching this episode, I'm thinking this is her man or something, and she's catching him cheating or doing whatever. And to come to find out, it was her daddy. So she goes in, barges into the door. She finds that there's a woman tied up in the bed, cut open, murdered. So she's panicking. Her dad comes out, pretty much tried to explain himself because he didn't realize that his daughter was there watching him, so he had to come up with some type of excuse. But he pretty much was just saying he was born a murderer, he's a professional businessman by day and a murderer by night. He's evil, he knows it, and he can't really explain himself to his daughter. And she's saying like, no, you're not that. I do need answers, but you're not that. Like, something gotta give. And he ends up just stabbing himself in the neck and taking himself out. So then we go fast forward back to where Donna sees that the Night Stalker was floating in the middle of the air, taken over by a damn demon or devil, whatever the hell it was. It was some supernatural shit going on, but whatever. It's American Horror Story, a whole bunch of shit go on. And she's talking to the Night Stalker, aka Richard Ramirez, and he's just saying like, hey, I know all about you and your dad, and you're a natural born killer. You're here to do this. I know about you and Mr. Jingles setting him free. And she's just like, how do you know that? And he's calling her Dee Dee. Only her father called her that. And he pretty much was saying like, I work for Satan. I know all of these things. I know all the secrets. So she's, sitting there trying to be convinced by all these things. And then she sees her daddy. I don't know if it's a hallucination or, the Night Stalker put that hallucination in front of her, making it seem like that was really her dad, trying to get her to kill now because the ghost dad is saying like, hey, you need to finish what I was doing. You need to continue. We were born to do this. And this is what you need to do. This is where we kind of get the reason why Donna helped Mr. Jingles out of jail or out of the insane asylum. Because she wanted to figure out, since she couldn't get that answer from her dad, what makes a killer tick and why does he do these things? And I remember that she was saying that she talked to Jeffrey Dahmer and, Ted Bundy and all these things like that. And now with Mr. Jingles, she's trying to get answers and she's trying to understand why these serial killers are doing what they do, because she quite don't understand it because her dad was a serial killer and she just never got that answer clear from him. So we see the motive of why she wanted Mr. Jingles, out of the insane asylum, and she wanted to study his killings and his murderings. That's not even a word. She wants to study him murdering people and see what makes him tick and what makes him go off. Then we get back to the car where you got Margaret, Xavier, Brooke, Montana, Chet, and they're sitting by the car that kind of exploded from the last episode. And Xavier's freaking out. He don't know what to do, so he's trying to find another plan. They tell him to calm down. He takes a stick, lights it on fire, waves it in front of everybody's face. Margaret knocks his ass out because he was going crazy, and she was like, I had to do that because he was going to probably hurt us, and yeah, we need to get him back to the bunkers or the cabins or whatever. So they take Xavier back to the cabin where he's unconscious, and Margaret's saying, hey, I think yesterday I seen a group of campers across the lake. Maybe if we take a boat across over there and get help. So Montana and I'm like, oh yeah, maybe there's a car that they might have, so let's do it. So Montana offers Chet to go with Margaret to go across the camp to get help. Even though I think this is a little sketchy on two parts. One part is because Montana want to have Brooke to herself so she can get her out of here. Number two, Margaret, I feel like already have a plan to dispose everybody at this camp. So I guess it didn't matter like who went with her, as long as somebody went with her so she could get them out of here one by one. So I guess it didn't really matter. So Chet goes with Margaret on the boat to find help, while Montana and Brooke stay with each other and, you know, stay in the cabin until they get help as well. And while they go off, Brooke is saying, you know, I can't believe all this is happening, and she gets up and starts to look outside, and Montana like picks up a bat or something. I don't know what the hell she picked up. I don't know if it was an X or something. She picked something up because she wanted to get Brooke the fuck out of here. Like, she's tired of Brooke. Her motive the whole entire trip was to get Brooke murdered, killed. Either she do it or the Night Stalker do it. But the whole purpose of having the Night Stalker do it is because she felt like she didn't have the balls to do it. So Montana's obviously getting some balls right now because she's creating plans, telling people to go with each other so she can have Brooke to herself. So she knows what she's doing. Obviously, Montana couldn't go along with hitting Brooke because something keeps telling her to stop. But every time Montana comes face to face with Brooke, every time she's about to hit her, nothing happens. Montana's creeping up on Brooke. Brooke is looking outside and she sees Ray. Now, obviously, Ray's dead. A couple episodes ago, Ray got his head knocked the fuck off by Mr. Jingles. So obviously this man is not alive. And she sees him outside, but nobody in the camp knows that he's actually dead. They just thought that he took the motorcycle and left everybody. So apparently he's alive and Brooke is decided, so she want to go after him. Montana can't go through with hitting Brooke because she's still too scared. So she's like, all right, yeah, keep that axe. I'm going to go see what Ray is doing. And Montana's just like, fuck. Why didn't I do it? Why couldn't I do it? Now we got Chet and Margaret on a boat, you know, acting like they're going across another camp, even though there's no actual camp. It was Margaret's plan all along to get one of them alone so she can start just chopping people up one by one. So she's sitting there talking to Chet, and she, you know, she's spewing her religious stuff on him. He's just like, dude, what the hell are you talking about? And she's going off on him, saying, you know, if you believe in God, you believe that it's just darkness when you die and all this other stuff. So she gets up, start beating him in the head with a damn boat paddle, knocks him to the water. He's trying to get onto the boat. She grabs his ear, try to rip it off, take an attempt to rip it off. He's like grabbing her, trying to fight back. She like kicks him, and you know, there's just a big scuffle going on in this boat. She ends up ripping his ear off, kicking him into the water, and then that's the end we see of Chet. But I don't think he's really dead because she just kicked him in the water. We didn't actually see a death happen, even though throughout the season so far, Chet got, you know, stuck in the shoulder or the chest with you know, with the stakes. You know, he got cut up, he got sliced up, and you know, he got his ear ripped off and beaten up, and you know, he technically died. They have to use like some type of defibrillator or whatever the hell it's called to revive Chet. So this man is like on his last leaf, his last leg, his last everything. So it wouldn't surprise me that this man is actually dead, but I don't know. We didn't actually see him die. He just got kicked inside the water with his ear missing. So I don't know. But Margaret is a shady bitch. She gotta go. I knew she was going to be the real villain in this season because she was just too campy and churchy, and just she was doing the absolute most this whole entire season. Even the very first episode, I knew something was up with her. So Margaret, she gotta go. Hopefully Mr. Jingles get her out of here again. Richard Ramirez, somebody gotta get her out of here before this season is over with, because she's just getting away with murder, literally, and it just gotta stop. Now we got Brooke and Ray. She doesn't realize that this man is a ghost. They're hiding because they thought they heard Mr. Jingles. So they're hiding in one of the kitchens or one of the cabins, talking about their lives and, you know, who they're really not and who they trying to be, and just talking about life in general, or lack thereof life, because technically Ray doesn't have a life anymore, but Brooke doesn't know that. They start talking about life and things like that, and all of a sudden Brooke and Ray just start having sex. I wonder how it feels to have sex with a ghost. Like, do you feel anything? I mean, obviously you have to feel something, because if they can touch you, I wonder if it feels like the real thing. You can just tell there was a connection between them on the first episode when, you know, Chet and Ray got into that little fight or whatever, and Brooke went to his rescue to try to bandage him up and things like that, and it was, you could just tell something was there. But this time they actually getting it in, and it's crazy because she just doesn't know this man is a ghost, and I don't even think Ray know that he's a ghost because he's a little confused himself. But apparently in American Horror Story, you can touch ghosts, you can feel them, you can do all that stuff. Maybe it's a magical feeling with having sex with a ghost. I wish I could ask Brooke myself, but I'd rather not. But apparently it was good because Brooke was left speechless. He even asked, hey, how was it? And she's like, well, I wouldn't know, really, because I never had sex before. And he's like, well, you were engaged, so you should know. And she was just like, well, I was a virgin technically the whole time, and yeah, you just broke that. And he was just like, oh, so I popped your cherry. And it's like, I'm about to say who still used that, but I forgot we were in the 80s in this show, so I guess that works. Really interesting that her first time was actually with a ghost and not an actual person. I guess it counts because she actually felt something. So I mean, I guess she had sex because she felt something, and even though he's not a real person, but you know, she still feels something. I don't know. I'm on the subject too long, so let's just move on. After the half of Oreo couple had sex, you know, Brooke is like, you know what? I'm thirsty. Let me go to the refrigerator. She opens the refrigerator and she sees Ray's head inside the refrigerator. He goes to run over because she's screaming and he's panicking because he's like, why the fuck my head is in the refrigerator? And she said, I don't know, but who the hell are you? And he was just like, he was just left struck because he didn't understand why his head was in the refrigerator and he's there, and she didn't understand, so she runs off because she's like, what the fuck is going on? I'm out of here. So then we got Xavier bitching about his face because he all burnt up. He wanted to be an actor, so now he's saying he can't be an actor because, you know, his face is all messed up and he don't want to be a voice actor or a hand model or whatever the hell he didn't want to be. So he's sitting there being depressed about that, where I feel as though those marks can obviously heal. I mean, there were some, you know, some heavy like bubbling marks, you know, that was almost like, I probably would say that was like a 2nd degree burn. I feel like it'll be bad, but once it heals, a little makeup can do something and he can sit there and be an actor, or he could continue to be a porn actor because, you know, obviously that's how he was making his money. So he could just sit there and be a gay porn actor. I'm pretty sure a young man would like to jump his bones regardless if he had a burnt face or not, because Xavier's still a handsome guy, but the way that he's bitching and acting crazy, maybe that would turn people off. So never mind, I retract that statement. He should not do that. Maybe he could just be a hand model. Sorry, Xavier. While Xavier's still sitting there worrying about his face, Martina's just like, oh gosh, I'm just worried about Brooke. Where the hell is she at? Even though she don't really care, she just wants this bitch back in the cabin so she can murder her. So then we get Nurse Rita, Donna, whatever the hell her name is. Donna comes running back in. She's running from somebody. Montana's about to go off on her. She's like, bitch, do you want me to punch you in the throat again? Because you're just coming up in here. You're not who you say who you truly are. So I'm here. I'm ready to fight. And she's sitting there, Rita, Donna, messing up. Donna is saying, like, it's my fault, guys. I released, you know, Mr. Jingles here. This is the reason why everything is happening. It's my fault. So Xavier's is like, well, it's your fault. I can't be an actual actor now. You gotta go. So he's sitting there still complaining because it's, I mean, it is her fault, but I mean, the way that he's taking it, I don't know. Xavier's just doing the most now. He's acting like a little spoiled brat. I understand that he's upset, but whatever. But I died when Martina said, bitch, do you want me to punch you in the throat again? Because have you guys ever been punched in the throat before? I know it sounds a little like hard and like dramatic, but I've been punched in the throat before and it does not feel good. So I can understand when somebody threatened to punch you in the throat. Don't think that it's going to be light or whatever, especially if you got an Adam's apple. That shit hurt. So if anybody threatened to punch you in the throat, just run, because being punched in the throat hurts a lot. So Xavier goes off. He's trying to attack Nurse Rita. Nurse Rita runs out. He chases after her. So Montana's in the cabin by herself. Brooke comes in. She's going off saying, you know, Ray's not who he say he is. You know, his head is in the refrigerator, but he was sitting there next to me. And Montana's like, girl, what the hell are you talking about? So as Brooke is going on and on and on, Montana's like, I don't give a fuck what this bitch saying. She gotta go. So Montana picks up a bat or a log or a pipe or something, and right in front of Brooke's face, Montana just swings and hit her right upside the head and knocks her down. And Montana's just spewing and going on and just saying, look, it's your fault. You need to go. You need to die. And Brooke is just like, why? What did I do? And Montana pretty much revealed to Brooke that the reason why I want to kill you is that because you killed my brother. That was the only guy that listened to me. That was the only guy I was connected to. And you killed him. You took him away from me. And Brooke was like, I didn't, you know, kill him myself. She was like, yeah, but that asshole of a fiance that he was trying to marry did. And he wouldn't have done that if he would never try to sleep with my brother. And that became a whole big thing. So now Montana's going after Brooke. Them two is fighting. And Montana also revealed to Brooke that she sent Richard Ramirez after her. So all this was a plan. This was all to get Brooke out of here. But then we get Jingles and Donna. They're sitting there talking. They run into each other. And Jingles just like, hey, I'm not who he's saying. It's really Margaret killing everybody. She's the one. She set me up in the 1970s. She's the one that actually killed everybody. And she used my backstory of me being in the army as, you know, a plot. And the reason why I killed everybody, and being as though that I had to get locked up, she made me believe that I actually killed these people, because Mr. Jingle's not all there in the head, so he obviously believed all that, because Margaret has that power to do that. She has the power to make people believe things. She pretty much just set him up. So Mr. Jingles was explaining that to Rita, Donna. I'm gonna just try to keep calling her Donna because she looks like a Rita, not a Donna, but even though her real name is Donna, she looks like a Rita, but I guess Donna. So Jingles is explaining to Donna, like, look, this is not me. Even though you broke me out and I did kill some people, I didn't really mean this. This wasn't my fault. And then we got Montana chasing after Brooke. Brooke is sitting there calling her all types of bitches. Brooke is trying to hide, and Montana at this point is full of rage. I think she just sees red. And the fight between these two is hilarious because Montana is just like, she's just a sloppy runner, and she's just like running into shit, running into Brooke. She don't even care. It's like, it's no stop, no like stopping at angles. It's just like, she just go. It's just, she just keeps going after her. And it's hard for me to explain, but when you watch the episode, you'll see it's just fucking hilarious. Montana just has no chill, and she's a whole entire mood this episode because you could just tell this girl is just full of rage and angry. She said, well, if Richard Ramirez is not gonna do this, I'm gonna do this shit myself. And she has no fucks to give at this moment right now. Brooke ends up getting away. Montana's chasing after her. So Jingles runs into Margaret. He's super pissed at her. He ends up choking her, trying to choke her out. And I'm just like, yes, we're finally going to get it. Margaret is going to die. And it just looked like that was about to happen. Like we thought that Margaret was going to go. But no, that didn't happen. We get dumbass Xavier with his fucking bow and arrow like Robin Hood, shooting Mr. Jingles all up with arrows. And at this point, I'm like pissed. We got Margaret sitting down on the floor, acting like she's passed out. Mr. Jingles is getting fucking arrows shot through him through fucking Xavier because he's still upset about his damn face and being put in the damn oven. At this point, Mr. Jingles is dead. Xavier's shooting him all up. He's gone. He goes over to Margaret because he doesn't know Margaret is the actual killer. So he's trying to wake Margaret up. And Margaret's like, I couldn't be better. She flips him over, takes a knife, cuts Xavier from the top to the bottom, wide open, killing Xavier. So he's gone. Takes the knife, cut his ear off. She goes to run the fuck off. Mr. Jingles waked back the fuck up. I don't know how he's still alive. This dude got fucking shot up, stabbed up, sliced up. He got like 5 or 6 fucking bow and arrows shot right through him. This dude is still alive. But then he sees Richard Ramirez talking about, like, hey, do you want Satan to be your god or some weird shit like that? Or do you want him to be your master? Say he's your master. Mr. Jingles didn't say nothing because it cuts off, so we don't know if he took that offer or if he just, decided not to and just died. And guess what, guys? We finally get to the next day. You know how on the very first episode, they're talking about tomorrow, the actual kids is going to come. So it's your job to be counselors to do what you got to do. Meanwhile, we're on episode 5. So you telling me all these episodes was one night. I was sitting here talking and Shanice's like, yo, through these episodes, all this shit happened in one night. Why hasn't at least the sun come up or something? Why hasn't it been the next day yet? So we finally get our wish. It is the next day. We get our shot of the kids on the bus, singing their song, super happy. These kids gotta be 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. They're happy to be camped. The driver's like, are you guys ready? We're about to pull up. Meanwhile, it's broad daylight and we still got Brooke and Montana fighting and duking it out in the middle of the ground. They still slicing and fucking each other up and punching each other. And Montana's just like, look, this is it, I gotta kill you. But Brooke ends up flipping her over and keeps stabbing her. And as she's stabbing Montana in the chest, the bus pulls up and the kids are looking out the window and watching and seeing all these things happening. So Brooke gets up and looks at the bus and all the kids just started screaming and just like crying and freaking out. And me watching this, I started cracking up because, like, that's fucked up. Like, Brooke was so innocent, even though she got on my nerves throughout this season. For her to go out that way and just to see these innocent little kids experience somebody being stabbed up in the broad daylight in the middle of the ground. Even though Montana's the actual killer, but it's Brooke. And these kids are just like sitting there being exposed to this. That scene right there was just funny to me. I don't know why, but I just started cracking the hell up. It just was an awkward scene. Super awkward. A lot of people in this episode died. Xavier died, possibly Chet, possibly Mr. Jingles. Montana's gone. The police is here. They taking Brooke away because they think she's the killer. Obviously, the bus driver and the kids seen her killing Montana, so obviously they think she's the killer. And you got the police going around collecting evidence and things like that. Meanwhile, we got Margaret still alive. She's sitting there spotting everything out from behind the cabin. So she said, you know what? They think Brooke is the killer. I'm going to stab myself. So you know what Margaret does? She takes a knife, stabs herself in the leg, walks out into the ground, starts screaming, and they all go to her, and they was like, do you know her, that girl? She's like, yeah, she's my counselor. She just went crazy. So Margaret is going with the plan, and she's doing this again. If you think about it, since she came up with the plan of setting Mr. Jingles up the first time, she's doing it again with Brooke. So now she got two people that's gonna fucking hate her. She probably think Mr. Jingles is dead. So now Brooke is gone, and I feel like them two, Mr. Jingles and Brooke, is going to probably have some type of vendetta against Margaret now because she set them up. She, you know, playing, even though she was the actual killer throughout this whole entire thing, she set everything up, and it's kind of fucked up. Then you got Ray. He's walking around. Nobody doesn't know he's a ghost, but he's a ghost. You know, you have a nurse that go up to them. You know, she's doing the blood pressure thing. He didn't have one. They put him in an ambulance because they're like, all right, this dude gotta get checked out. And as you know, in true American Horror Story fashion, if you're a ghost and if you died in that area and you try to escape that area, you will not go anywhere. It will be a reversal and you will take your ass right back to where you died. And that's exactly what happened. Ray thought he was going to go away. He kept saying, I want to go home. And he thought his ass was going home. And as the ambulance was going, you know, out the exit of Camp Redwood, Ray found his ass right behind the exit. He ain't going anywhere. So poor Ray, and at this point he knows that, all right, I'm stuck here. And then he runs into Jonas that we haven't seen since like the second or third episode. Where the hell was Jonas this whole entire time? If he knew he was a ghost after Margaret spoke to him, where the fuck was he? He could have been helping people. I don't know. I'm getting frustrated now that I'm thinking about it. Jonas and, you know, Ray's talking now, and then they run into Montana, and Montana ends up seeing a cop. You know, she ends up killing the cop, shooting him up, talking about, you think I'll get the electric here? Apparently the cop didn't know that she's a ghost, so she ends up killing him, and then she sees, you know, Ray and Jonas, and it was just like, Montana, like, what the hell, like, why are you doing it? And she's like,
there's no Montana, only Zool.
And if you guys know, that's a reference towards Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters is just an amazing movie, and I think that came out the same year in 1984. So I think there were like 2 or 3 Ghostbuster references in here. But when she said that, I was cracking the fuck up, and she's like, "Just kidding, guys. You know, I'm just here, just having fun." And she said, "If we're gonna be ghosts, control over this purgatory type of shit, we need to have some fun." So apparently, Montana's happy to be a ghost. She do not care because she's evil at heart anyway. So I feel like we just gonna have ghosts wandering around Camp Redwood. Everybody is there. Xavier, Montana, Ray, Jonas from the 1970s. I'm pretty sure Miss Birdie is gonna be a ghost too, because that bitch got killed, you know, inside the camp as well. So we're gonna have some people being killed if they keep visiting this camp. It's gonna kind of be like a murder house thing. You know how when people visit a murder house and it was being killed and things like that. So American Horror Story got a session with ghosts. I'm still here for it though. It's amazing. Oh yeah, and I forgot about Mr. Jingles and Richard Ramirez. So they end up stealing the cop car. The cop car was the cop that Montana had killed. That's how she was able to kill the cop, because them two stole it. But at that point we didn't know. But now we know at the end of the episode that them two stole the cop car. Obviously, Mr. Jingles took Richard Ramirez's offer as far as, you know, having Satan as his master, because this dude is still alive. And they're going off to Los Angeles to probably continue to kill Brooke, because that's the way they're heading. So the only people we have alive is just them two, Donna, Brooke, and Margaret. So I want to know in the rest of these episodes what the hell is going to happen, because we got ghosts now in the camp. They're obviously not going anywhere. They're gonna be stuck there unless Chet comes back alive, or I don't even know if Chet is a ghost, because again, we didn't actually see him die. He just got kicked into the water, so he could still be alive. Who knows? And if Chet is alive, he could actually go back to Los Angeles or find the police and say, hey, Margaret's the actual killer because she confessed to me on a boat. Because he's the only witness really that witnessed everything, that would sit there and tell the truth. They can't believe Mr. Jingles, and obviously Brooke doesn't know, and I don't even think Donna knows. So I don't know, we figured that all out maybe on the next episode. The next episode looks lit. It's the 100th episode of American Horror Story, so hopefully, again, like I said in the beginning, I have Shanice. We'll review this episode together and we'll have lots of fun. But thanks again for watching me ramble and talk about this episode of American Horror Story. It was dope. It was a lot of reveals. It was a great episode. I had a lot of fun watching it. And yeah, let me know what you guys thought about the episode down below in the comment section. And don't forget to subscribe, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to this video, like, share, and comment. So much more love to this channel because it's Halloween time, and why not just, you know, spread the love and give me some energy. I love it. But thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.